All right, welcome to Car Shopping Questions and Answers. I'm your host, Deshone the Auto Advisor. Feel free to type in your car shopping questions. I want to make sure you have what you need to pay less than everyone else in this market, any market. It doesn't matter. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Thank you to those who share the show. Thank you for those who tag somebody, everyone who's spreading this message. Thank you to those who are double tapping the screen and hitting the like button. We appreciate you. We have a lot of questions coming in, so we're going to get them started. This whole broadcast will be sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers. You can actually get a copy of it for 75% off. It's normally $97. That's going to be the total do-it-yourself blueprint to get in below market deals. It's 5-star rated. And I want to make sure as part of my welcome offer, you can get a copy for 75% off. It's in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the Facebook comments or the YouTube comments. So go get your copy. It's for the next 30 minutes. That's my welcome offer to you. And let's get this. Let's get the show started. I think somebody was asking about a Duramax diesel, so not a drama truck. But if the first thing you want to decide is should you be buying or leasing it? It's impossible to get a good deal if you were supposed to lease. Now, who was taught never to lease? Be honest. Type me if you were taught never to lease. A big thing that we do here is we tear down that terrible, terrible financial advice. It is some of the worst advice that you could have received is to never buy a vehicle. I mean, to never lease a vehicle. So let's keep the question up about the Duramax, Dolan, because that's the one we're answering right now. He had typed in the comments he didn't mean drama truck, he meant Duramax. So we can save this question for next. Everybody keep typing your questions and we'll keep getting to them. But right now, that's the first step. Whenever you are about to get a car, the first thing you want to do is decide, am I buying or leasing it? And I give you an easy way to know that. Are you keeping it 8 years or not? It's very simple. The question of buying or leasing is about depreciation. If you buy a vehicle, you're going to lose in depreciation. I don't care how good of a deal you get on it, because in the short term, depreciation is going. And I'm fortunately, thank you, Quinn. I'm about to be a victim of my own bad. Look, I'm about to be a victim of my own advice, like not taking my own advice. What does that mean? I bought a pre-owned Infinity truck after years of leasing, and I got into the habit of leasing after 20. Let's see, from 2000, we would lease my wife a vehicle. So we started really 2012 with our Infinity G25 lease. We got that. It was like 325 a month. And then a brand new vehicle, because most leases, if not all leases, are brand new vehicles. So I'm paying 325 a month for a new Infinity. Then we got the Infinity Q50, 2014. So then I'm paying like 345 for a $44,000 car, brand new. Uh, then I had three Q50s in a row, 345, 365, and I think the highest one went up to like three. I think 365 was the highest, because when I extended my lease, I had to pay the taxes. It went to 390. It might have been 390. The point is, never over 400 a month. So then I asked my wife, I said, are you going to keep this vehicle? Because if you're going to keep it for more than 8 years, we could really just buy a vehicle. We don't have to keep leasing unless you want. And she said, look, I'll keep a vehicle. So I get a phenomenal deal on my Infinity truck, 2020. It was 3 years old. I got it. It was a $54,000 truck. I got it for 31,000, 26,000 miles on it. Great, great vehicle. I documented the deal. So I posted the deal on my social media. Like I got 42% off the original MSRP. That's something I call the true value discount. You got to know when you're buying a used car, what are you paying for it relative to the original MSRP? So I get this whole phenomenal deal, right? And I'm gonna show you how I'm about to lose, because I'm not gonna keep it 8 years. I thought I was. I thought my wife is fine keeping it 8 years. I'm not. So when you see how much I already ran my numbers, I already ran how much the truck is worth. I did my equity assessment, which is step 2. And when I look at what I paid over the last 2 years, plus I gave 5,000 down, which is no problem, because if you're buying a vehicle and you're going to keep it, it doesn't matter how much you get down. You can pay it off quicker. But the goal is to keep it, because if you don't keep it, When I just ran my numbers, it's a loss compared to if I just leased the vehicle back then. Because the new Infiniti I'm about to get is literally the new version of this truck is literally is the same price. It's actually a little less per month than I paid for this used truck. And I'm gonna break this down thoroughly. It is a loss. Buying these vehicles, I got a great deal on that Infiniti truck. Great deal. It's a loss because I'm not keeping it. So the depreciation killed the deal. I could have been driving a brand new 2022 Infiniti truck at that time, paying $500 a month or less, literally driving a brand new truck. But instead, I bought a pre-owned one with the goal to keep it, didn't keep it, and now I'm going to end up paying more. When I sell that, I would have lost more than just me driving a brand new truck. And I know this because I have literally leased for the last 15 years. So that's how much the 8-year rule matters. You have to ask yourself, how many years am I keeping the vehicle? If you're not keeping it 8 years, you should not be buying it. It does not matter what type of deal you get. Now, you do need to get a below market lease deal, which is what we talk about here. That's what we do. You can't just go in and pay any lease, sign any lease. You guys can hear that the prices for the leases that I was talking about were not normal prices you see on commercials. So that's not what we're comparing it to. You got to get below market leases, and we get them. That's all we get. But yeah, that's the first thing you want to ask yourself. How many years am I keeping the vehicle? Let's see. I see we got a lot of comments coming in. You're actually in a lease now. Leasing is going to be the best thing for most people. I could already tell. Unless you're keeping a vehicle, not everyone is really into the discipline of keeping a vehicle for more than 8 years. There's a lot of you that are, and you are the ones who should be buying. The rest of the people, you're just losing thousands. And again, once I sell this truck and show you the numbers, you're gonna see how much I paid to drive a used vehicle when I could have just been staying with my leases the same way I was since 2012. Driving brand new vehicle. I changed the tires, had to change the tires on this vehicle. I put brand new tires on it. That's all stuff I never would have had to do with leases. So I really spent more, even more than I would have had to drive but again, that's the best example of the 8-year rule. Even the person who created it is you break it, you lose. Go ahead, Dolan. Let's get to a lot more questions. I want to purchase a brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee L and I want to pay cash. How do I go about it? You need to get multiple offers. You want to do it your way, you can call around. You need to get at least 5 offers because the prices for Jeeps, the prices for any vehicle is going to be major differences from dealer to dealer. This is Raphael. She got a Jeep Grand Cherokee. No money down. She's paying $549 a month. There are people who are paying $700 for this exact same truck that she has. Zafrina got a Jeep. She leased it. She leased it for $579 a month, $65,000 Jeep. This is a $65,000 Jeep, so there's probably people paying $1,100 a month for this same Jeep. That's how different the prices are. It's not a matter of, I always say it's like spaghetti sauce in the grocery store. When you walk into one grocery store, you'll see Prego $6.99. Then you go into another store, you'll see Prego $4.99. You go into another store, you see Prego on sale for $2.99. It's the exact same product. There's nothing different. Exact same product. It's just where you're buying it from has a special offer or a different offer. That's how Nissan dealers are. That's how Jeep dealers are. One Jeep dealer is not going to discount. One Jeep dealer is going to take off $2,000 if you negotiate. One Jeep dealer is going to take off $3,000 and give you the rebates that you didn't know were there. You're going to save like $7,000 off or $10,000 off. It's that different. So the best thing you could do is to first decide if you're keeping the vehicle 8 years, because if you're not and you buy it, you're going to get killed. You're going to waste a ton of money buying a brand new Jeep because it's going to depreciate so fast. You're going to lose 20% the first year. So if you're not keeping this vehicle 8 years, the absolute worst thing you could do is to purchase it. And then once you decide whether you should be purchasing or leasing, it's a matter of getting 5 offers to make sure you get the below market offers. We do all of this online by email. Takes us literally minutes. That's what's in my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. I show you how to connect with 25 dealers online in 20 minutes. I have email scripts that we use to copy and paste and get offers. That the name of the game is getting 5 offers. So in my book, the strategy is called the 25 to 5. We connect with 25 dealers to get 5 offers, and then we pick the best one. That's the below market offer. So you must shop multiple offers or you're going to overpay. You can get your copy of my new digital book for 75% off. It's normally $97, but it's part of my welcome offer in my bio, my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, or the YouTube or Facebook comments. For 30 minutes only, you get your copy for 75% off, which is $24, and it'll be in your inbox in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You'll be able to have these steps for the rest of your life. It's like what 50 said about bottled water. Yeah. It just depends on where you're buying from. The same product, when you go to a hotel, the same bottled water that's $1 in the supermarket is $3. You go to a hotel in Dubai, the same bottled water that's $2 in the supermarket is $11 or $14. It just depends on where you're buying from. That's the way it is with cars. And once you grasp that, once you get that, you're off to the races. You'll understand why people like us, like Zafrina, like Pierre, like Teddy with his BMW, got a ridiculous amount of money off of it. Danielle with her Audi lease, Bonita, even during the pandemic when people were paying $800-900 a month to lease Kia Telluride, she got hers for $600. It's just bidding. When you step out of negotiations and get people bidding, your experience is going to get easier. You're going to save more money without even trying. It's just an easy way to do business. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot up the next question. Let's go. Keep typing. Where should I start in the process to buy a car? People skip the leasing versus buying step. Again, I can't stress it that I could show you all day long how to get below market car deals, leases, purchases, new cars, used cars. That is easy. That is easy. You do it right from home. That is the easiest part of what we do. The leasing versus buying, because they programmed you to not like leasing, and you've gotten so many negative you've gotten people who've programmed you. They've never spoken about numbers. They never talk about they never talk about the numbers. They talk about things that everything but the numbers. Leasing is like renting. You have to drive. They pick your mileage. That's wrong. You pick your mileage on a lease. And frankly, depreciation is the unseen expense that these people don't even know that it's killing them. Because the short term, think about all these electric cars. I've been on a mission to try to get people to sell their electric cars. Lease them all day. If you are getting multiple offers, lease these electric cars all day. But if you own them, they are depreciating at a dramatic rate, way more than any other cars. Because the new car market is soft. What does that mean? The new car market is soft. That means they have to give these cars away to sell them. Look at Milligan. If you zoom in on her deal, Milligan got a Mercedes EQE Valentine. I never leased in my life. You're going to learn today. Milligan saved $27,000 off of her brand new Mercedes EQE. If you zoom in on that, you'll see. So when you're able to save, now obviously everyone's not saving that money. She got multiple offers. She used our system for getting offers from multiple dealers, and her best offer was $27,000 off. So if you can get $27,000 off a brand new one, how does that affect the pre-owned market? How does that affect the 1-year-old one? How does that affect the people who bought brand new, paid list price, or they paid almost list price, and now 2-3 years later, they're trying to sell them? They're worth half. They're not even worth, they're worth less than half of what the new car costs. And now this is the dangerous part about buying these vehicles, because when the depreciation hits, if you happen to have a vehicle that depreciates worse than any other car, you can't help that. You have to wear that. There's no way for you to avoid it. Now, had you leased it, you would have avoided it. Had you got a below market lease, you would have avoided it. And also, if you had a plan to keep the vehicle for at least 8 years, not break the 8-year rule. That's why when you ask where should I start in the process, guys, the process always starts with the 8-year rule. It always starts with the 8-year rule. There's nothing else. I don't care if you're coming to talk to me about anything else than how long you're keeping the car. You've missed it. If you're coming to me to talk to me about how to get a great deal on a depreciating asset, and you're not considering how long you're going to own it, you are missing it. You're missing the basis and the most basic uh, step to finance. To investing in something. If you were going to buy a stock and they said, listen, I got some bad news for you. This stock is going to go down in value for the first 5 to 6, 7 years. It's going to go down. And if you decided you were still going to buy that stock, the only question we would need to know is how long are you going to keep it? Does that make sense? A financial advisor who's going to tell you, hey, everybody who buys this stock, it goes down for the first 7, 8, 9, 7, 8 years. But then it starts to coast and then you'll be okay. Wouldn't how long I'm going to keep it be important? That's the most important. If you say, hey, I'm going to keep this thing 3 years, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. It's impossible not to lose. So that's why we only look at how we're going to beat depreciation as our first step. You buying a car, your only first question is, how long am I keeping this thing? 8 years? Then I'm going to buy it. If it's not 8 years, I'm not tying up my money in it because I'm not going to get that money back. That $5,000 I put down on my used Infiniti, I'm not getting that money back. When I sell it, it's a break even, and I literally paid X amount per month, $500 a month, and then my $5,000 down payment though, I'm not getting that back when I sell this thing in 2 years. So that means I could have leased something, had the same payment, had the $5,000 in my bank account, and literally drove a better car. That's just it's not even close. Anyone who's listening, if you really open your eyes and open your ears, leasing versus buying in the short term is not even close. It's not even close. What you get to drive for the money that comes out of your household is not even close. Go ahead, Dolan. Tremendous C. What if you have a car you're paying for and want to lease something new and keep the old one too? Well, depends. If you have the income to support 2 car loans, then you probably can get approved. They're going to want to see that once you actually do the second credit application, they're going to look at what those payments are going to be and how much you make. And if you could afford it and you have the credit to support it, you will most likely get approved for both. But you need to have the income to support it. Okay. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I just tell people make sure you're using both cars. A lot of times we have cars sitting. Some people will say, okay, I want a new car, I'm going to lease it. And then they want to keep the old car. And I'm like, why are you keeping it? And they're like, well, is anyone going to be using it? They're like, no, not really. And I'm like, okay, well, now you just have something on your insurance. And really, there's no benefit there. You could sell it and you might pick up a couple $1,000s. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with having both though. If you can qualify for both. What's up, Victor McLeod? Good to see you. D checking in on TikTok. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next question up. If we could get people to understand leasing versus buying, like we're gonna make people very rich. Like, and what I mean is, give you an example. Let me tell you how just understanding that will change your household. I have a friend that I met, a neighbor. He lives around me. I met him about a little over a year ago. Now he found out what I did. He found out, he found me online and he said, "Hey, I noticed." No, he had a Kia Telluride. He totaled it. His wife was in an accident, totaled the vehicle. Now he said, "Deshone, I see the stuff you teach, and we had this Kia Telluride. I'm not going to keep it 8 years." He said, I'm a shop for a lease. Now, he uses the strategy. He gets multiple offers. Got to get offers from several Kia dealerships. He does it at home, uses my system. You could do it your way. You want to call around, but if you don't want to talk, you can use my way. He find his best deal on his Kia Telluride is $479 a month, no money down. He got a 2024 Kia Telluride. He was paying, now some of you know if you've been on our streams before, the Kia Telluride is about a $44,000 vehicle. Let's just say 45 with taxes. Let's just round it off. How much is every $5,000 on a monthly payment? If you're new here, type the number 1. This might be your first time here. You wouldn't know the answer to this, but we may have some people who check in with us on a regular basis and they may know the answer. What's up, Kevin? Welcome. How much is every $5,000 on a car loan? Because I want to show you how much he was paying for his old Kia Telluride. Yes, good job. Soldier Dan, $100 for Countess, $100. Yes, Valentin, $100. Great job. So that's the rule of thumb you need to think of when you look at cars and you're going to purchase them and you're going to get a loan. You should be thinking at most a 5-year loan to start. You don't want to automatically assume a 6-year loan. You want to look at 5 years. 5 years, every $5,000 is about $100 per month. So you look and you say, okay, $100 per month, that's $10,000. That's a $200 a month payment. For $20,000, that's a $400 a month payment. In the case of him, he had a $45,000 Kia Telluride. That's a $900 a month payment for 5 years. Now, $900 a month for 5 years. Think about this. He went and he leased the same vehicle, in fact, a newer one, after his wife totaled it, and his best deal is $479. He brings a new version of the same vehicle that's been in his household, taking $800 plus per month out of his household. $800 plus per month. Think about that. He looks outside of his door and he sees the same vehicle he's had, but it's now $479 a month instead of $800 plus a month. Do you think he's ever going to be confused about leasing versus buying again? That's the thing. When you drive down the road and you meet someone who listens to us, they're in the same vehicle as you. They're driving better vehicles than you. They're paying less than you because they've learned 2 things: how to determine when they should lease and when they should buy, the 8-year rule, and they've learned how to get bids, how to sit at home and get bids instead of going in and trying to negotiate. It's a major difference. So go ahead, Dolan. All you do is pick the correct mileage, Showtime. That's it. He said, what do you do if you go way over mileage on your lease? You pick the correct mileage. See, you pay for usage. So if you bought your vehicle and you put a lot of miles on it, let's just say your vehicle today is worth $20,000. You could sell it today for $20,000. You go and you put 20,000 miles on it, that's going to make your vehicle worth a lot less because you're depreciating it much higher than the average person, much higher. So now, if you lease a vehicle and you tell the bank, I'm only going to drive 12,000 miles per year, and you make a deal with them to drive 12,000 miles per year, but you go and you drive 15,000 miles per year, then you're going to pay when you bring the vehicle back, because the deal we made, you said you were going to drive 15,000. So the name of the game with a lease is picking your mileage accurately. I don't know what gets you to pick your mileage wrong. I don't know if it's from a lack of understanding. I don't know if it's from I didn't know that I could change my miles. I don't know if it's trying to save a couple dollars because you're getting a bad lease deal and you don't see the benefit in paying more for the additional miles. But these are all bad decisions. You should be like Jen. Jen needed 18,000 miles per year on her lease. Now, Jen shops for her Honda CRV, $40,000 vehicle. She gets a deal $512 per month. $512 per month, no money down on her Honda CRV lease. Now, she can then take that 12,000 mile a year lease knowing she needs more, or she can do what she did. She adjusted her lease, and you can see it if you're on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. TikTok, you guys can't see this because I can't share the images. But she had them adjust her lease from 12,000 miles to 18,000 miles. Her payment went from 512 to 563, $50 more per month, and she can drive 18,000 miles per year for $50 a month. She can drive all she needs to drive. She doesn't have to worry about penalties or anything like that because she has structured her lease correctly. That is the name of the game. Do not take lease mileage you don't need. Don't take less lease mileage than you need. You're just asking for a bad experience. It's a recipe for disaster. Okay, I have a 2015 Lexus. Should I sell it for 20,000? I have two cars already. It doesn't. If you can get $20,000 for a 2015 Lexus, then that's the value. God bless you. Make sure when you are selling your cars, I like when you mention sell, you throw it. We always bid out. You don't know what the item you're selling is worth until you get bids. You don't know. Whenever you, like example, they'll tell us to trade our phones in. Now they'll say if you trade your phone in, you can get $200 or whatever. We don't know how much we could truly get for that if we put it on the market, if we put it on eBay. Because if they're giving us $200 on trade, we could probably get $300 on eBay. We could certainly get more. You get what I'm saying? You don't get the maximum amount that your item is worth trading. So we always sell it, and it's easy because there are now big cash buyers that all they do is buy vehicles all day long. KBB, instant cash offer. Write these 6 sites down. Everybody who wants to do an equity, first of all, you should always be doing an equity assessment, which is finding out what is your vehicle worth on the open market if you decided you wanted to sell it. That's an equity assessment. It's similar to an appraisal. What's up, Cheryl Johnson? Good to see you, Margaret. Thanks for sharing. I see you, Margaret Cordova. Thank you for sharing. So the equivalent to, we created something called the equity assessment. It's equivalent to you getting a home appraisal. The great thing about it is it's free. It takes 20 minutes and there's no obligation. There's no obligation. So you can find out, oh, this is what my car is worth if I wanted to sell it. I don't have to sell it. So we go to AutoNation, sell my car. This is all online. CarMax, Car Gurus, Carvana, Driveway, and Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. Now that's going to get us 6 offers. Those are some of the biggest buyers in the country, and you can see what your vehicle is worth. You assess your equity. This is step 2 in our process. So before you actually go shop for your new car, you should always be finding out what your old car is worth, because you need to know, am I going to have equity in that I could put in my bank account? Am I going to have negative equity that's going to hurt my next deal? I need to know this. That's why we do an equity assessment. What's up, Chris Hayes? But yeah, that's what you should do, Lisa. Love too. If they're going to buy your car for 20, that's great. But just make sure that you got other offers to make sure that 20 is the best. And don't use Kelly's Blue Book to actually find out what your car is worth, because going on a website, typing in stuff for 30 seconds and then it's saying your car is worth 20, that's not real. In the day and age where we get cash offers, that's not real. That doesn't mean anything. You could actually just go right to Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer and see what they'll offer you cash. That's how you're going to know what your vehicle is really worth. Okay. And all of this, everything we're talking about, everything I teach is in my new digital book. It's 5-star rated. You can Google it. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And it's the blueprint for below market deals from home. That's why our system is called Cars from Home. So you'll learn below market leases, below market purchases, below market new cars, below market new cars, how to do an equity assessment, how to do the bank bidding war so that you're not trying to hope you got the best interest rate. You want to get bids from banks so you know you got the best interest rate. So all of this is in my book, and you can get your copy for 75% off. It's part of my welcome offer. It's normally $97, and it's worth it. But it's part of my welcome offer for 30 minutes. You can get your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, the YouTube comments, or the Facebook comments. Is it a good idea to buy out your lease? Not usually. Most times, this is a major way. This is a $5,000 loss because you're paying for too long on a car that you're giving back. So if you who's bought a lease out? Let's just really lay out a scenario. If you've ever bought your lease out, just type me. I want to show you why this is a mistake, and I'm gonna do this probably in 2 minutes. Whenever you lease, your lease is 3 years on average. We don't take 4-year leases. Why? Again, you're paying too long for a car you're giving back. The name of the game with a lease is to pay cents on the dollar compared to purchasing, not tie up a lot of money. So when we go from leasing to buying out our lease, we're going from driving new cars for cheap to now we're buying a used car. What do you mean buying a used car? Well, that's all it is when you buy your lease. You're just buying a used car. The only difference is it's your car. So instead of going out and looking for a used car, you already have a used car, 3 years old. It's your old lease. You go buy it. First thing you need to do is make sure that the price that you're paying for it is a good price. If you were going to buy it, the very first thing we want to do is a market assessment. So look at vehicles online, go on used car websites, go on the marketplaces, cars.com, Car Gurus, AutoNation, Auto Trader, all the marketplaces, Carfax.com, Carvana, CarMax. We use 8. So there's 8 marketplaces that we use where all the used cars are, and we need to see all of them. Now, we need to know, is the price that we're paying for this lease buyout good? Can we get a car just like it or a better car for the same price? Some people are paying $19,000 to buy out their lease when they could get a similar car for $17,000. So that means they're overpaying right from the jump, just overpaying for the car because their lease contract buyout price is already not a good price. Now, let's consider this. Most people who are buying out their leases, they're not paying cash. They're taking out a loan. Average loan they're going to take out is 6 years. Right now, I think if you looked and you said, if somebody jumped off in Google right now, what's the average car loan length? Average car loan in years. Somebody jump off and let us know. I guarantee it's going to be at least 71 months. I guarantee if somebody got the time to do that, come back and let us know. I guarantee. So now, if the average car loan is 71 months, let's call it 6 years. You've already leased the car for 3, then you buy it for another 6. What's 6 plus 3, people? You've already leased the car for 3 years worth of payments. Now you bought the used car, you bought it as a used car, took out a 6-year loan to pay off the difference. How many years of payments is this? 9. Thank you. 9. Who's signing up for a 9-year car loan? Anybody? Good fellas, you asked the question. You signing up for a 9-year car loan? Showtime said, not me. Who's signing up for a 9-year car loan? See what I'm saying? This is the big, see, when we're leasing, you're not putting the money in the car. When you're buying, you're paying the car off and then you're keeping it a long time. It's 2 different goals. Two very different goals. If you're gonna buy a car, you need to love it. You need to be able to say, I love this car so much, I'm gonna keep it at least 8 years. If you don't say that, you should not be buying that car because the depreciation is going to just destroy your finances. It's not what you pay for. You can pay cash. doesn't stop the car from depreciating. The only way to outlive the depreciation, a car is worth 40 today, and in 5 years, the car is worth 17. Literally today, the car is worth 40. 5 years from now, the car is worth 17. That is a major depreciation of money. So when we are tying up our money in an asset like that, we have to be in it for the long run. Now, if we're not going to tie up our money for the long run, then we should be leasing so that we don't put our money in the car from the start. Type $ if you understand that. Type $. If we were taught this in school, and obviously working for Mercedes for 5 years, working for General Motors for 5 years, I wouldn't know this working for General Motors, because once I went to work for Ray Katina, he made us understand we had to run our own deals. We had to work the computer. We couldn't go to the managers and get the numbers because we were all finance managers in addition to being the salesman. So I wouldn't have understood this without working where I work. That's why most car salesmen don't understand this. They weren't taught this. The first thing you should be learning if you went to class, if they taught a 1 semester class on understanding how to get great car deals, literally step 1, period 1 is depreciation. That's period 1. Because now it's like depreciation is the enemy. Depreciation is what's going to destroy you. You throw your cash in that vehicle, you tie up $20,000, $30,000 in that, your cash value is depreciating. That should be the first thing. How are we going to avoid that? That would be the first question that you got to come up with. Okay, wow, if that's the case, how do I avoid that? Okay, you're either going to get a below market lease, or you're going to keep it a very long time to where the depreciation cools off and it's no longer depreciating that much. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, cool. But because we didn't learn how to buy cars, we were basically trained. We were trained to buy cars by car dealers. And the things that we were taught make them money, not us. And I'm one of them. I've been a car salesman for 14 years before I came to the internet. So I watch most car salesmen buy cars. There's a couple car salesmen I'm friends with, and they always buy new cars. I watch them. They'll go and they work at the dealership, and they'll say, yo, I just upgraded. Every 2, 3, 4 years, they got a new car, but they don't lease. It's total financial, almost, I mean, it's worse than ignorance, because they see the numbers. It's just they're so programmed. Oh, somebody told me own my car. You ain't buying, you don't own nothing. You're not paying cash. The bank, you want to find out who owns the car? Don't make a payment for 3 months. Don't make a payment for 3 months. You'll find out who owns the car. So you get what I'm saying? So that's the name of the game is, yeah, I don't mind partnering with a bank to pay off my car, but once I pay off the car, I'm keeping it. There's nothing wrong with you switching cars. If you want to switch cars, God bless you. I want to switch cars. I bought this daggone Infinity truck thinking, oh, I was going to change. No, Deshone, I'm going to keep cars now. I'm going to keep these cars 8+ years. No, the only cars I want to keep is when I get my Range Rover, my Escalade, my S-Class Mercedes. These are cars that I've wanted pretty much for my adult life. Last 20 years, I've been like, okay, these are my gold cars. When I get here, I'm buying these cars and I'm going to keep them. That's my dream. I'm not keeping cars that's not on my dream car list. I'm not keeping them. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I have to pay the price because, again, I bought a used vehicle, got a great price on it, but what I could have leased, what I could have driven had I leased 2 years ago, it would have been so much better and so much less money. And I got a great deal on it. Depreciation. Can't beat it. You cannot try to beat it. Go ahead, Dolan. Should you let the dealer run your credit multiple times just to get you a better rate? Absolutely not. That's the worst thing you could do. The dealership's not getting you a better rate. Listen, pay attention, everyone, because this is a big deal. The dealership's job is to get you a rate that you'll agree on that makes them the most money. What does that mean? All right. Finance manager is asking the salesman, what is the highest rate you'll take. That's a big difference than trying to beat a rate you have. We never have a dealer ever run our credit without trying to beat a rate we already have. When you actually let a dealer run your credit, they are looking and saying, okay, if I tell them it's 8%, will they take it? If I tell them it's 8.5, well, they're trying to see the highest. What's the highest we can get? That's not someone who's shopping for you, like someone who's, okay, let me see the lowest rate my client can get. That's different. Now, how do we make dealerships switch from trying to see the highest rate you'll take to actually trying to see the lowest rate they can get? Bids. We use a process called the bank bidding war. What's up, Beats? Good to see you, Biddy Brown. We use a process called the bank bidding war. And what we do is we do not let anyone run our credit. First of all, let me explain what the credit bureaus allow. What they allow that you may not know, that most people don't know. They allow you to let multiple banks, multiple credit unions access your credit within a certain number of days. And if you do it within a certain number of days, once that window closes, the effect on your credit score is going to be like one hard inquiry. So we all know, most of us know, a hard inquiry can drop your credit score. But if you shop the way the credit bureaus allow, you can get multiple hard inquiries from banks, credit unions, online lenders, and it's going to have the same effect as one hard inquiry. And the benefit of you shopping this way is because how do you know that the interest rate the bank gave you was the best interest rate on the market? How do you know? What's up, Curtis Wilson? Good to see you. Good to see you checking in on Facebook. How do you know? How do you know that the interest rate that the bank gave you, what's up, Ivan Uris, is the actual best interest rate? Anybody want to take a stab at how you know? There's no answer because you don't. You do not know. How do you know the bank, the credit union that's in 45 minutes away out in the woods wouldn't have given you a better rate? So we shop around for the rates. Now, they don't want you to know that you can shop around for the rate because the banks want you to be limited just like the dealers do. The biggest tactic that banks and dealers are using against you is to make you think they're your friends. As long as you think they're your friends, you're not going to shop their competitors. Type a $ if you understand that. You'll notice that the new thing banks are going to try to do is to get you to give them your information and allow them to access your credit with a hard inquiry. That's the new thing. They always did soft pulls before pre-approvals became popular. You could get a soft credit pull inquiry. Then soon as you guys started getting hit to the pre-approvals, which was the smart thing to do 2-3 years ago, get the pre-approval. Now every bank wants to get a hard credit pull to give you a pre-approval. You notice that? We watched it switch. When you weren't doing it, they had it available, soft credit pull pre-approvals. Soon as you got hit, see the market, these guys respond to what you do because they want to limit you. So you have to know what their goal is. Dealership goal, keep me from shopping competition. Bank goal, keep me from shopping competition. Because they know the only way that you are going to save the real money is to shop competition. So we always once we find our car, we never let anyone access our credit with a hard pull before we find a car. Never. Because once you do that, you've opened that window that I told you about that the credit bureaus allow. It's only a couple days, 14 to 45 days. Once you allow someone to access your credit with a hard pull, you started the window. The clock begins to tick. And we don't want to do that. We find our car first, we find the best deal first, then we come home and we let dealers access our credit. Banks, credit unions access our credit, and we see if the dealer can beat it. This is a process we call the bank bidding war. When you get my book, my digital book, you actually get the bank bidding war blueprint with it. I haven't combined it into my book yet, so I give you the bank bidding war blueprint for those of you who get in car loan. And that's going to walk you step by step to how to make these banks and credit unions bid for your interest rate for your loan online, step by step. That's how you save the money. And that's how you have what I call a guarantee that you got the lowest interest rate. You need to guarantee. I want you to switch from these disempowering, weak words. I hope I got the best interest rate. I hope I got a good car deal. I think I did okay. These are very disempowering, weak words. That's different than you saying, I guarantee I got the best price on the car. What's up, Daughter Most High? I guarantee I got the best interest rate. And the way you get to the guarantee is to start making these people bid so that you can see multiple offers while you sit at home and you choose the best one. This is all in my digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's 5-star rated. You can Google it. And it's part of my welcome offer. For 30 minutes, you get a copy for 75% off. In my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio, check the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments, and you'll have a link to get yours for 75% off. All right. It's normally $97. But if you get there before 30 minutes is up, you can get a copy for $24, and you'll have everything that we're learning step by step, even the stuff we won't have time to get to. Everything is in there step by step. The bank bidding war, below market leases, below market purchases, new cars, used cars, high mileage drivers, all step by step. So get your copy before the welcome offer goes away. Stephanie, how can I get out of my loan because of high car payment? Should I trade in or try to sell private? First thing you should do is assess the value. So go to the 6 sites that we recommend to find out what is the highest offer you can get for this vehicle. Go to CarMax, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, Driveway, and Car Gurus. Get your 6 offers, let them fight it out, see how much are you leaving this transaction with equity, or are you going into your next transaction with negative equity? So if you have negative equity, I always recommend you pay it off. Don't transfer, because then you can actually do a clean deal and you can get bids for the next clean deal. We don't like to trade. I talked about earlier in the stream how you're never going to get the most you can get for your item trading it. So usually when you don't sell your car, when you trade it, you're going to have more negative equity than you could have had if you have negative equity. But that's the first thing, Stephanie. And truly, even before you do that, you need to know, am I buying this next car to keep it at least 8 years or not? Because if you're not keeping it at least 8 years, then you should be transferring to a lease. You said, I moved to the city and I can see paying $519 for the next 5 years. Well, exactly, because $519 is only a $25,000 to $26,000 loan for 5 years. On a 6-year loan, maybe $30,000. So that's all the loan you have on a 6-year loan, $30,000. Whether you got a new car or used car, that's what you're driving. Meanwhile, the same $519 a month payment, we have people who are paying $519 and driving way more expensive cars than that. Look at Greg. Greg is paying $527. He's driving a $56,000 Kia EV6 Wind. That's an electric vehicle. Danielle is paying $550. She's driving a $44,000 Audi A3. I'm sorry, yes, A3. Raphael. Raphael is paying $549. She's driving a $46,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. So see what the money gets you when you know how to leverage your money. So the first thing you should be doing is seeing, am I in the right foundation structure-wise for my lifestyle? My lifestyle is I don't keep cars 8 years, I should be leasing. If my lifestyle is I keep cars more than 8 years, then I should be purchasing. And then you could transfer it and you just got to go into a less expensive car. See, the only way you're going to drop your payment is to go from a $30,000 loan, whatever you're in, to a $20,000 loan if you're buying. That's the only way when you're buying. When you are purchasing, if you want to drop your payment, you have to go to a less expensive car, because the amount that you're paying and the loan that you're paying, you need to lower that. So $30,000 loans, $500, so $500 and change payment for 6 years. I'm trying to get to $350. Then I got to go buy like an $18,000 car. I need to take an $18,000 loan. Meanwhile, if you were trying to get to $350 and you're shopping a below market lease, you get one like India got. India's paying $365 a month for a brand new 2024 Hyundai Elantra Limited. Look, $365 a month. That's probably a $28,000 vehicle, close to maybe 28. I don't know what the Limited costs. So you're talking about a $28,000 vehicle for $365 versus an $18,000 used car. These are very big differences. Biggest thing you need to do up front is decide, am I keeping this next car 8 years or not? And then after that, assess that equity, Stephanie, using what I told you in the beginning when I first started answering. Go to those 6 websites, get your values, and find out what your asset is worth, and if you're going to have positive equity or negative equity moving into your next transaction. That's step 1 and 2 right there. Okay, do those things before doing anything. Great question. Go ahead, Dolan. You owe $22,000 and you have a Toyota Corolla, so most likely you're going to be upside down. And again, that's just very unforgiving. Toyota Corolla, compact, entry level, small sedan, probably a $25,000 vehicle. You bought it, and that same competitor, which is a Hyundai Elantra, a Honda Civic, these same vehicles are $500 and change to purchase. They're $500 and change to purchase. Depending on the interest rate, could be $600. I'm talking no money down. Let's see. The reason why most people can understand what I teach is because we don't confuse it with money down. When you start getting into these money down conversations, people are confusing you because you'll think like, okay, give you an example. For my Jeep, for my Infinity truck, it's a $54,000 truck. I bought it 3 years old for $31,000, $31,800. Great price. It was better than all the competitors. Now, I pay $500. I think I pay $525 a month. When I replaced this vehicle, I already did my equity assessment. I'm right about a break even. I'm right about a break even. Now think about this. People will make you forget. I've been paying the $525, but I didn't forget about the $5,000 down that I put when I bought the truck. So had I not put that $5,000 down, my payment really would be probably about $625, maybe about $650. See, because I understand the math, I'm not going to confuse a $525 payment with $5,000 down. I'm not going to confuse that with a $525 payment with no money down. Because I know that I could have leased a brand new Infinity truck just like the one I got, and I could have got it for $525 a month, no money down. How do you know that, Deshone? Because I've helped people do it. Look at Ashley. Ashley got the same vehicle that I could have got. Look, 2024 QX60 Lux. MSRP is 58,000. His payment is 554 a month, no money down. No money down. I'm paying 525 for a 3-year-old used car, used version of this. Because again, I had planned to keep it, but if you didn't keep it, look, if you didn't keep it and you bought it, you lost. It doesn't matter what you plan to do. You got to follow the plan because cars are unforgiving. Same vehicle, Rosalie. Look, Rosalie, $59,000, 2024 Infiniti QX60 Lux. Look, $592 a month, right below 1%. And that was, she had a lot of offers higher than this. Obviously, we get, if you're new here, we get multiple offers. You're not going in negotiating this deal like this. But I see what the market was. I could have gotten this, but yet I thought I was buying. I thought I was going to keep 8 years, and now I went and bought it. But when I actually go and swap it, I actually paid more than them. And only the people who are really committed to their finances are going to understand this, even though it's simple. You got to really sit up and you got to be like, yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close. So what you're going to thank me for is really getting the concept of leasing first. And then you'll thank me second for teaching you how to get the best leases and purchases from home. But the first thing that many of you need to do is break the programming of don't lease cars. That is what is killing you. That's what has you tied up in $700,000, $800,000, $1,200 payments because you're believing bad advice. You could drop those payments by $300, $400, $500 a month. Just like I talked about my neighbor who he had his Kia Telluride paying over $800 a month. His wife totaled it. He said, Deshone, I followed your 8-year rule. I'm not buying these cars no more. I'm going to shop for a lease. He got the same exact vehicle for $479. Same exact vehicle that just was in his household, in his driveway for $800 a month. He went and got the same one, and now it's $479. It's just amazing. It's his life has changed. You pay $400 a month, $300 a month for the exact same vehicle. And once you learn to do it right, and you see, man, I can't believe it. I don't have more car, less car. I got the same car. How am I paying $300 a month less than I was just paying? Well, because you structured your deal correctly. Bought the book. How do I get the digital book? It's a digital book. So as soon as you buy it, you actually get it. As soon as you get your book, I want you to screenshot the thank you page because sometimes you type your email in wrong. It does happen because you're typing fast, trying to hurry up and get the offer before the 30-minute hits 0, and you type a letter wrong. We can't send an email with a book to a wrong email. So what we do is we make sure you have our support team's email. Make sure if you don't see that book in your inbox in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, you email my support team. Also, as soon as you get your book, as soon as you pay for it, right on the thank you page is the link to open the book. So you'll see at the bottom, click the link below to open your book. But I also email you a copy. Okay, and then use it, follow it step by step. Don't jump steps. You'll see it's very, very step-by-step oriented. Get to one step, do it, check it off, move to the next step, do it, check it off. And by the time you get to step 7, you're setting up your delivery. That's literally step 7 of the book, delivery or pickup. Okay. So for those of you who just jumped on, everything we've been teaching on this stream, it's called Car Shopping Questions and Answers, is out of my new book. It's a digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealership. It's a mindset. You're not going to the dealers anymore to get these deals. You're not going to the dealers anymore thinking you're going to get a deal. You're going there to test drive or to pick up your car. Everything else you are doing is from home. You are using websites, you're using email scripts, you're using specific steps from home to make dealers and banks compete for your business. And that's how you're going to save the most money and have the most fun. Save the most money, save the most time, and have the most fun. So you can get a copy of my new digital book for 75% off. That's my welcome offer to you. It's normally $97 book. And you can Google it. It's 5 stars. Just type Cars from Home book into the Google and you'll see it's 5-star rated. But you can get your copy for 75% off, which is $24. But it's only for 30 minutes. Get to my TikTok bio, my Instagram bio, click those websites in the YouTube comments, the Facebook comments before the 30 minutes is up. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. All right. Can you still get a deal if you want specifics in a car and they have to order it? That's absolutely. Of course you can. And before you order your car, that's the time to shop around. If I was ordering a car, the good thing about it is any dealer can place the order. When you are shopping for a black Honda Accord, every dealer is not going to have that, especially the way you want it with the package you want. That's another reason why we connect with 25 dealers, because once you connect with 25 dealers, you give yourself the best shot at finding a dealer that has the car you want. So once you do that, you're good if you shop around, but every dealer is not going to have the car. When you're ordering, any dealer can place the order. So you can actually have more competition placing an order than you can for a standard car purchase. But the time to make the dealers compete and to talk to multiple dealers is before you place the order. Once you place the order, you have almost no leverage, because the longer you've waited, your car's on the way, it's a month away, it's 2 months away. They know that you're now waiting for the car, you're looking forward to it. And the longer you've waited, the less chance that you're going to cancel. So oftentimes they're going to end up charging you more, or not negotiating at all, or potentially not even giving you or hiding rebates that they may have, because again, they think the longer you waited, the more desperate you are. So the time to negotiate an order is prior to signing the paperwork. And that's also in my digital book. I teach you how to do that if you do plan on ordering a car, or if you're shopping for a car that needs to be ordered, right? Shout out to y'all running up the likes on TikTok. Thank you for double tapping the screen. We continue to run up the likes. That continues to let TikTok know that we're talking money over here, and they continue to bring more people over. So shout out to the people who run the likes up. We appreciate you. And shout out to the sharers. Thank you to the sharers. We appreciate you. Go ahead, Dolan. I always like to show my appreciation to people who help spread the message. All right. Thank you, Queen P. I see you. Thanks, boss lady. Shout out to you. I see the likes. How can I ensure a low monthly payment when buying a new car? My credit is excellent. How can you ensure a low monthly payment? Well, low is relative. Low for some people is 500. Low for another person is 300. What you need to do is know what how are payments made up? Well, they're not. It's based on how much loan you are going to borrow, and it's based on how long you're going to take the loan at what interest rate. Now, we have a formula here that we use with purchases, so that you know it's not about how much your payment is, it's about how much loan did I borrow. That's not going to change. A $500 a month payment, if you say, Deshone, I don't want my payment to be no more than $500 a month on my purchase, it's simple to see how much car that gets you. On a 5-year loan, that's going to get you about a $25,000 loan. $25,000. Yo, Deshone, I want a $40,000 car. Okay, so you can't borrow more than $25,000 if you want a $500 payment. It has nothing to do with how much car you want. It has everything to do with, this is the loan. That's how much $500 a month gets you. Now you could go a 6-year loan, and $500 a month might get you about a $30,000 loan. But that's it. So when you go in and you're purchasing, see, this is why leasing is so different. Because when I look at $500 a month, I know that I can find certain leases where I could lease and pay $500 a month and drive a $40,000 car, or $45,000 car, or potentially a $50,000 car. This is how different it is. Wait, how could you drive a $50,000 car for $500 a month? Like Greg is, $527 a month. He's driving a $56,000 Kia EV6 Win. You can't change that on a purchase. Look, Zafrina, $579 a month. She's driving a $66,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. You can't manipulate. See, with purchases, payments can't be manipulated unless they just stretch your loan out. That's how they manipulate the payments. Give you a 7-year loan. You think you got a better deal. No, all you did was take a long loan, stretch the loan out. That's like going and looking at a $1 million mansion, and then they tell you, well, it's $5,000 a month. But if you take a 50-year mortgage, we can get you down to $3,500 a month. Smart people aren't going to do that. Just because you stretched the mortgage out, gave me a longer time to pay it off, doesn't mean it was a good deal. So when it comes to the cars, you have to know that I could get a lot more money for my car, a lot more car for my money leasing. If I'm not going to lease, then I need to know how much loan I borrow. How much is my loan going to be to get to this payment? And everything above that, you gotta realize that's, if I'm going to take a $500 payment, that's a $25,000 loan. Then everything. See, this is why the loan has nothing to do with the car deal. That's what. See, everything that we're talking about has nothing to do with if you got a great car deal, because when they get you thinking about monthly payments, you're not thinking about the price you paid for the car, which is the indicator of if you got a great car deal. It has nothing to do. If I'm buying, let's just say, let me find somebody here that bought a car. All right, look at Sean. Sean's got a $73,000 F-150 Lightning. He gets $20,000, $21,000 off of it. Now, let's just say Sean, now in this particular case right here, the amount he would be borrowing is $47,000. $57,000, I'm sorry. Now let's say Sean, when they show him that, they say, Sean, your payment's $57,000. Your loan's $57,000. Your payment's gonna be like $1,100 a month. Now he got an $1,100 a month payment. That doesn't mean he didn't get a great deal. He got a great deal. He saved $20,000 off the truck. The deal has zero to do with his payment. His payment has, he has to make sure he found the dealer that was going to sell him the truck lower than anyone. He did. The dealer he found the truck from saved him $21,000 off the price. Zero to do with your monthly payment. Now it's up to him to decide, do I want to put money down? Do I want to finance the whole thing? How am I going to structure my finances to afford the deal that I just got? But just because somebody can't afford the payment doesn't mean they didn't get a great deal. Sean might say, man, I can't afford an $1,100 payment. That doesn't mean he didn't get a great deal. So the same way that somebody could make you think you got a great deal by focusing on the monthly payment, you got to unlearn that and realize monthly payment has nothing to do with if I got a great deal on the car. As long as a Bentley, we could all walk into a Bentley dealership tomorrow. We look at a $200,000 Bentley. Let's say a dealer, we're the dealer, they're going out of business. It's a liquidation sale. And the dealer's sitting there and they're like, listen, I got great news for you guys. You came in on the right day. We're going out of business. We have to liquidate everything. Everything is 50% off for today. So we could get a $200,000 Bentley for $100,000, brand new, liquidation sale. Now I can't afford that payment. You might not be able to afford that payment. That's a $2,000 a month payment if we wanted to buy that vehicle. You get what I'm saying? It's a two, even with them taking off 100,000, even with them slashing the price 50%. It's a great deal, man, but I can't afford it. That means affordability has nothing to do with the deal. That's what you have to separate. Your mission is, let me find the dealership that is going to sell me this car lower than anyone, because they're all going to have different prices. Once I find that dealership, then I'll determine if I can structure it, be it a lease or a purchase, to make it affordable, or whether I'm purchasing, whether I'm going to put money down. That's how we decide, am I going to put money down? Because let's just say that same Bentley deal that we got, we're getting the Bentley 50% off. You might not be able to afford, but you might have $50,000 in the bank, and you say, man, I'm just going to I'll put 50 grand down and get the Bentley. And then I'm only going to I'll put half down. Now your payment is based on 50,000. So you can say, well, I can structure this thing to where I can afford it. Great. That's where money down comes in. It's just managing my monthly payment. That's the whole thing of a down payment. Managing my monthly payment. What do I want my monthly payment to be? If I could do a deal and I could afford the monthly payment with no money down, great, I'll do that. But the mission is, am I paying the lowest amount in the market for the car? Forget what you're trying to say. See, and I'm telling you, once you go into, you'll see. Once you go to the dealership next time, you're going to be aware that that's the first question they're going to try to ask you. That's why we don't talk numbers there. What do you want your monthly payment to be? Who gets that question? As soon as you get a car that you like, hey, what kind of payment you looking for on that? Isn't that one of the first questions? Isn't that one of the first questions, right? Type dollar signs if you know I'm right. And I know, obviously, because we know this industry is very predictable. But I want you to see now, why are they asking me that? They're asking me that so I can focus on the monthly payment and not on the price of the car that they're selling me. I see you, Solid. I see you, Vonnie. I see you, Showtime. Shout out to the people locked in, engaged. You usually get the most out of what we do. So this is why they're trying to get you focused on the monthly payment. So now, if you know this is their goal, your goal is to make sure we don't even discuss monthly payment. I just want to know, how much are you selling me the car for? And we do this from home. How much is it? You got to get 5 offers. That's all I need from you, Mr. Dealer. How much you going to sell me this car for? And then I'm going to find another dealer just like you with that same car. How much is he going to sell me the car for? And I'm going to get another deal, and I'm going to get 5 offers, and then I'm going to see which one of y'all was hiding, trying to make a bunch of money on me. And that's going to usually be 4 out of 5. So that's the name of the game. It's not about monthly payments. Monthly payments do not determine a deal. Price of the car is what determines the deal. Okay? I see you, Ernest. Thank you for sharing. Shout out to everybody who checked in. I see y'all ran up the likes on TikTok. This is beautiful. Thank you to everybody who hit the like button, who shared with somebody that they know, who tagged in their best friend. These are the things that we have to be teaching, because we have to be protecting our money. No one's going to care about your money the way you do. The people who you are working with, car salesmen, banks, who you think have a fiduciary responsibility to you, they don't. Fiduciary means they're obligated to help you protect your money. They're not. They're not. So once you understand that the people who you've been trusting to help you make these financial decisions have a vested interest in you paying more, they make more when you pay more, then you'll understand why you need to be shopping your way, how you need to be learning how to shop in a different way that makes them compete, instead of making them, you pulling up a chair next to them like you guys are friends. So that's what we do. Our Cars from Home system has been used by thousands of people since we created it in 2021. I show you a couple in the stream. You'll see them in the book reviews. If you go to Goodreads, you'll see the dozens and dozens of reviews that we have for people who've used this book. And it's literally it's a blueprint to below market car deals, to saving thousands from home That's why it's called Cars from Home. And it's 7 steps to saving time, money, and avoiding dealerships. And as my welcome offer to you, you can get a copy for 75% off. It's normally $97. But if you get to my TikTok bio, the Instagram bio, the YouTube comment link, or the Facebook comment link before 30 minutes is up, you can get a copy for $24. That's 75% off. It's only for 30 minutes. And then you'll have everything we discuss in these streams, step by step, everything that I teach in my videos, step by step. And you'll be able to make sure you always keep the most money in your bank account. And you'll have fun shopping. The name of the game is saving time, money, and enjoying your car shopping. And when you start making people bid, you feel like you're the prize, which you are. You're going to be shopping empowered, and you will enjoy car shopping. You won't dread it anymore because you're literally making people compete. You're no longer begging for dealers to take money off. So go get your copy, use it. Make sure you send me your success stories. Always a pleasure tapping in with you, and keep unlearning, keep relearning. God bless you.